Greetings and good morning, everyone. This is Leah Love. Um, Getting ready to start my day. I'm going to be doing some Christmas shopping. And before I was getting myself ready in the morning, I like to kind of sit and meditate. And I was actually thinking about some of the comments that I have had from some people who have found out that Eric and I are getting married. And so I thought I would address some of those things because I guess in the world in which we live in today, there are people who remain engaged for years, or people who involve themselves in relationships that are like marriages, but they're not actually married. And so sometimes it can appear very different and just out of the ordinary in terms of the speed with which Eric and I move forward. So I wanted to just talk about that really briefly because it's actually a really, really interesting topic and I thought I would share. I'm sitting in my favorite couch in my bedroom surrounded by lots of pillows, and so it's generally the place where I will come and do videos. So here we go. Eric and I are both in our mid to late 40s. So he was 47 when we met, and I was 46. But one of the interesting things that we both have spoken about on several occasions is the fact that, when we were dating with a purpose. We weren't just out here just to have companionship. We weren't out here um, flying blindly, so to speak. We were actually very clear that we wanted marriage. We were very clear that we wanted to define our marriages in a way that would be very healthy, and that we both found someone who understood the very, very extreme importance of family and the fact that we would be blending families. He pretty much figured that meeting a woman of the caliber that he wanted would probably already have children at her age. And he, of course, knew that he had two children. And so once we embarked on the journey of dating online and dating with a purpose, things began to clear up, even though it took some time to get where we were once we finally met one another. But we did actually meet online, and we met in mid July. And pretty much very soon after our meeting, he knew who he'd found, and I also, and things clicked immediately. And the journey began, and it has been a whirlwind experience because it's now December, and he proposed to me on my birthday in November. And I do have a video of that on the channel here, so I will link it below once I upload this video. But the thing that's very, very interesting is that for me, I had been involved in a very, very dynamic marriage and sacred feminine healing group called the Laws of the Enchantress, which is guided by Connie Lauren Walker. And this is a group that is specifically for women of African descent. And it is walking us through a healing process, understanding your sacred feminine, understanding our role as feminine beings in this world, and creating your own feminine brand, the very best of yourself. And then now looking towards creating successful courtships as well as successful marriages. And so that's the whole premise of the group. And even though I was dating prior to joining this group, I learned so much about myself. I healed a lot about myself and began to reconcile myself with the fact that there are indeed healthy, emotionally stable, financially stable men out here in this world, but that you have to acknowledge that and be prepared to open yourself up to that. And that was a really huge thing for me. And for a lot of women, it's actually a very big thing because most of us have been so hurt for so many years, or we've been involved in very traumatic relationships or damaging relationships. We've had divorces. And so to bring yourself full circle to understanding and healing your past understanding why things went the way they went, and then charting a new path for yourself after you've healed, after you've developed a level of self love, and then now opening yourself up in terms of when you're ready, in terms of your dating, and then dating with a purpose. So when it's like that, it's such an exciting adventure because you're not walking into the dating world with hangups. You're not walking into the dating world feeling vulnerable, because being sacred, feminine, being your very, very best healed version of yourself doesn't mean that you're unprotected. And sometimes it can feel like that if you're not used to uh, dealing with the world from a healed state of being. When we're not healed, a lot of times we have a lot of barriers. A lot of times we have, um, many shields around ourselves, hoping to protect ourselves from more damage. But that's what part of the process is understanding what damages us, how it damages us. And then when we begin to develop our self-love, we begin to understand how to protect ourselves without being hardened. And so that was really what led me to being the very best version of myself. And then once I began dating with a purpose, it happened very quickly for me. Literally, and that story is for another time because it's rather fun. But once I joined the particular site that Eric was actually on, he'd been on there for a while, but literally he was one of my matches on the third day. And so from there, we started talking, and the rest is history. So literally, it took from July to November to meet both children, for him to take me to his city, to see his home, to introduce me to his life there, because based on his position, he's not able to move. So I would need to, and my younger children would need to move to his city. And also meeting both sets of in laws in different states, and then culminating to the actual proposal in November. So if you can imagine how much we've been doing between July and November, it's an incredible amount. And I have to give Eric kudos because he planned every stage, every step of the way, and did a phenomenal job with managing the travel, the schedules, getting all the families together, which is a whole other story in and of itself, because he's got quite an interesting family background. And and so yeah, I mean, now it's December and our wedding is in April. So if you can imagine, in less than a year, we will be married. And the thing that excites me the most is knowing how well this process has gone from July through December. I can only imagine how exciting it's going to be now that I was a little bit exhausted, so I took a couple of weeks off from the beginning of, actually from my birthday, after my birthday, which was mid-November, until now. I kind of took time off, and I've been doing so much along with our relationship. I've also been preparing my current home, and redecorating it, painting, and preparing it to become an Airbnb once I move to South Carolina. So I am doing a lot of things at once, plus still working, and of course family duties. So it's been quite a bit, and I kind of needed some time off. But now that we are heading into the holidays, tomorrow we are heading to South Carolina. So all of my children are in one home, and his children are there in South Carolina. So we are all going to convene in South Carolina over the holidays. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's a lot that we have to do while we're there, and I'll definitely be filming and letting you all know. But then once he and I are together in the same space there, we do have a few things to discuss, preliminary things about the wedding, but we literally have January, February, March, 3 months to plan this wedding, because it's April 13th. So it's mid-April, and we need pretty much everything finalized by the end of March. So imagine the whirlwind. Imagine. So I'm thinking we're going to look back on this and laugh at how much we were able to do in such a short span of time. But it's so exciting because we have so much more to look forward to. even after that, there's so much to look forward to, which is part of why I wanted to share this vlog, because I do have a lot of women asking questions about how I did this in terms of healing myself, getting myself into the space, and then setting out a detailed list of what I wanted in a future husband, and then actually going about getting that. And it's a beautiful process. It's a beautiful journey. And that's part of why I wanted to share it rather than individually telling each person that I encounter, why not go to the vlog? So that's what it's about. That's what the last several months have been about. And that's really my explanation of why it's okay, why it's not something that should be concerning. Because when you date with a purpose, when you know exactly what you want, when you've healed yourself, when you've studied your life, when you've studied the things that you could have done better, and really taken the time to analyze the direction that you want to go in, when you know yourself, when you know yourself deeply and intimately, it's so much easier to choose a partner who knows himself deeply and intimately, who's learned the lessons from his past and knows exactly what he wants. When you have two individuals like that, it doesn't take 12 years to date and another 4 years to be engaged and then another 2 years to plan a wedding. It just doesn't. Will it be a little bit tight with these 3 months? Yes, but are we ready for it? Are we up for the challenge? Absolutely. We're super excited. So again, this is Leah Love, and one of the members of the S Family Vlog. As time permits, I will be really taking the time to introduce you all to each family member. We'll be having vlogs between myself and Eric, family events, bringing you all along. It's going to be a fascinating journey. I'm excited to plan this wedding. I'm excited to share things with you about the weddings. I have so many topics to present to you, and we have some great surprises, some things coming up as of January 1 that I definitely want to share with you all also. And so I appreciate you all so much. If you like this vlog, if you know of anyone else who may be interested in marriage, wedding planning, blended families, healthy relationships, and just family life in general, please do share. Also, please do subscribe if you haven't yet. We really want to share this journey with those who are of positive minds, who are really interested. And I just can't wait for you all to meet each family member. They're all different. They have such interesting personalities. I think you guys are going to have a real good time meeting each of them. So that's kind of in the works over the next week, is spending a little time with each of them and introducing them to you all so that you know who you're dealing with. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.